What up? It's Casper. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about the second season of Tulsa King. Let's get it. Straight to it, the second season is back. Unbelievable that they are continuing the storyline. For me personally, very excited. Super looking forward to see how Stallone's character Dwight Manfredi ends up getting involved with. For those who haven't seen it, start off with the first season, because right away when this first episode started, it gives you a whole recap in like 2 minutes or so. But watch the first season. Highly entertaining and highly mental to mental game with a lot of people in the first season. How it ended in the first season, I couldn't believe how it just left us with a cliffhanger. The way it ended, you can just see how it could just go anywhere from that direction. So now we're at the second season. So much anticipation. Stallone is back. Not only that, Stallone is helping with some of the writing in some of these episodes. First episode, if I'm not mistaken, Stallone did help out with some of the writing in the first episode. Not gonna spoil it too much because this is something I feel like people need to catch up on if you haven't seen the first season. Second season, first episode, it's called Back in the Saddle, directed by Craig Zisk. I'm not familiar with any of Craig's work at all, and to be honest, I don't even think he worked on the first season, so this is actually a new director in here. And we still have Taylor Sheridan as one of the writers, and like I said as well, Stallone actually helped out with the first episode in writing. Right away, a lot of the actors from the first season are back, so this first episode shows us a lot of familiar faces. Opening credits all had that same vibe from the last season. Right away when I saw Stallone show up on the screen, it was nothing shying away from what happened last season. One thing I did notice as well is just basically a lot of time has passed by. A lot of the people in this first episode, you could see that maybe 2 years might have passed by or so before they started reshooting this. A lot of the characteristics from these actors that were in the last episode, you could see that they're just trying their best to fit that environment from last season and fit that storyline and fit that feeling that, you know, where the last episode left us at. Stallone in this whole first episode made this episode fly by. Really enjoyed his acting in here. Once again, Stallone is holding it down. Really cool to see Stallone as well throw a couple punches in here, and also with his lines, he was throwing verbal punches as well to a lot of the people in here. Very shocking to see that this whole personality, this whole mafia vibe that Manfredi is, Stallone can pull it off. Stallone understood the mission, understood the vibe, and Stallone looked very excited to continue filming and continuing the storyline. Overall, Stallone did look like he was aging a little bit. The camera focus and camera quality either is more of a enhanced one, because a lot of the scenes look like for me personally, like I was watching a behind the scenes type of perspective. The camera direction was great, showed good environment. They made Stallone look really fresh with the costume design again. Very cool, adventurous moments, especially with the whole gang. As colorful as they are and as different personalities that they all have, they all were able to unite again. You can see how they all shine in their own way. One thing I would want to see as well, maybe see a little bit of him in prison to see what he dealt with. This first episode straight just went to him in a cell, him being in court, doing what he had to do in court, and then coming back out to the world and actually is trying to hold up his whole gang together and go out there and make these moves. With the moments in this first episode that they're really focused on showing who's going to be involved throughout this whole season, and we also added new characters in here. The action that they show in here actually had a couple of surprising moments. Can't wait to see the creativity on even how they handle more mafia stuff. Tyson is back in here. Jay Will plays the character Tyson. Tyson once again came into the first episode ready to shine, ready to be at a bigger status, but he needed the confirmation from Dwight. The connection between Stallone and Jay Will, very on point. They're having fun. You can definitely tell as well that Jay Will's getting a lot of pointers from Stallone, so you can see how Jay Will's executing and playing his role to perfection. Can't wait to see Tyson's character grow a lot more. We also see Bodie. Bodie is in this episode, but it was like a teaser. Bodie again with all the brains and basically doing all the behind the scenes moves, and once again the lines are perfect for Bodie. I really like how they're just giving us a sneak peek of knowing that these characters are going to be highly involved a lot more. You see a lot of Dwight's enemies show up again, and not only do we see that, we see new characters show up as well. There's a new bad guy in this Tulsa King show, so now we're seeing more bad guys here involved, but more of like a strong bad guy, more of like the villain that's actually has a lot of power. So we have a character in here named Cal Thresher, and there's another character in here as well. His name is Bill. We see more characters who are on the evil side, basically trying to interfere with Dwight's plans. There's another character that gets introduced. His name is Bigfoot. So besides seeing a lot of the old characters from the last season, we are definitely being introduced to new characters for this season, which I feel like is going to make a lot of this whole season fly by once again. So I'm very excited for the adventure, and definitely excited to see how Dwight's going to get out of these situations, especially the first episode of him basically getting snitched on without the person snitching on him knowing that she was doing that. Stacy's back in here again, and Stacy's look and basically whole vibe is like, oh man, there's no way Manfredi is back in my life again. Really like the creativity with seeing like how Dwight is dealing with new characters, and that creates a whole new scenario. So very exciting, and definitely a mafia feel. It's like Mind Games in this first episode. Very excited to see what this gang is gonna do. So that's what I thought about the first episode. The quality was great. Stallone shining once again. Excited to see what the second episode is gonna show us. In the first season was kind of like, let me own this city, let me own this town. Now we're seeing in this second season, first episode, like this whole Tulsa area and this whole land is bigger than we thought. There's more people with more power. The whole range of this whole story is getting bigger and bigger. So really enjoyed that. After my watching the first episode of the second season of Tulsa King, Back in the Saddle, out of 10, I'm gonna have to give the first episode a 9 out of 10. So that's my review of Tulsa King season 2 episode 1, Back in the Saddle. Shout out to you guys for tuning in to the video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.